What's up, y'all? We are back. This is episode 8 of the Miami Marlins Out of the Park Baseball 25 series. We're kicking off a little bit deep in the offseason. Our scout retired, so had to pick up a new one. So I was just waiting to do that and then eventually jump into the lab, which we've added 6 guys this year. Arteaga will be working on plate discipline. You know, the eye is suspect. We tried doing the power last year. It didn't work out. This is an easy difficulty one, improving the eye as opposed to like the power, which is way more difficult. So we're going to try to improve his eye, try to, increase his batting numbers that way. He's been struggling thus far. He started a little bit earlier than these guys. Jesus Luzardo, we just offered him let me get the exact details on the contract. I could have just, I forgot how I did this. It was like this year it'd be 15, pretty much is our estimate, and then 25 for the next 4 years. So we'd have him through his age 33 season. He's just been a total stud. I don't want to lose him after the season, so we're going to hand out a big contract to him. But we're going to work on his pitch movement. He didn't even have a bad year with the home runs last year, but if you could improve that movement to a 55, like, he could be like a, perennial Cy Young guy. Not like he already was. He led the league in quality start percentage. 6.9 R WAR, 4.6 WAR. I think we can improve him a little bit better, keep him going strong throughout this contract. We kind of have a big investment, assuming he signs that. Patrick Bailey, we're trying to generate bat speed. He had 17 home runs last year, but I think there's room for improvement there. I almost did defense just to improve his framing even more, but I figure if we can get him to be like a league average hitter instead of a 90 WRC plus guy, he could be such a huge asset for us. Jacob Berry, again, we kind of put all of our eggs in his basket last year. 2 mixed results. He got off to a good start, ended strong, but in the middle he was not good. I still like him long term. So we're going to try to improve his eye. That's kind of the only weakness in his offensive game. Besides that, he's pretty excellent all around. Yuri Perez, also going to try to improve his control. He walked 3 guys per 9 last year. We can get that down to like 2.5. I think he could be a really, again, spectacular pitcher, even better than he already is, which is, a Cy Young candidate. And then Dex Fulton, he is a young guy who looks like he has major league service time. I guess we add him to the 40 at some point. Didn't have a great year last year in AAA, but only made 15 starts. I think he got hurt. Yeah, he had shoulder inflammation, which kind of makes me second guess this. If we should even invest in him, but I do like him overall. He came back and, pitched decently well, about as good as he did in 2024 metrics-wise. Just a few too many home runs. So we're going to try to improve his control and make him a long-term starter, as we are losing a bunch of players next year. Luzardo will be back after next season, but Trevor Rogers will be a free agent. And then Alcantara, who knows what happens with him after next year. After a rough season, we're losing a lot of our offense. Jazz, Arise will be gone this year. We need to start planning for the future, and Dex Fulton is kind of the guy that I'm going to, I guess, give a shot at. It was either him or another guy like Bradley Blaylock. But I think Blaylock's good enough to pitch as a starter now. I think Fulton needs a little bit more work. So that's the reason I went him over Blaylock there. So that's the lab. We'll see how that plays out as we progress through the offseason. As for arbitration, we're bringing everyone back besides Enel de los Santos. He wanted $2.6 million. He was good last year, but I think he's replaceable. And I don't really want to shell out $2.6 million to a reliever at this point. All the rest of these guys will be back. Arise will get a qualifying offer. Don't think he'll accept it. He does want... That's his minimum demand. So I tried to offer him 1 year, 20 mil, see if he accepted. And he did not. He countered with this, so not a crazy deal, but we're going to move forward without him, I think. His defense just isn't good enough to play second. We have Jacob Berry at first. Oh, he was a true black hole defensively. And he had a good, not great season. He only had 2 home runs. Like, I don't know. It's a shame to let him go, but, you know, we got to do what we got to do here. So that'll be that move. Besides that, update on prospects. Luis Herrera is still number 1. Luis Kova moves up to number 72. I do want to check out Noble Meyer, see where he stands after we traded him. So yeah, he dealt in a high A last year when we traded him. You know, it's interesting. We'll see how he plays out his major league career. His stuff did tick up to a 60. He's up to number 20 in baseball. I think it'll still work out for us if we were able to win something with Robert in the building, but, you know, that was always going to be a tough piece to give up. We're now 11th ranked farm system, by the way. Devin Taylor, a first-round pick last year, 4th overall. He had a pretty rough season. I sent him right to high A. I thought he could handle it. Probably shouldn't have done that. But, you know, he wasn't horrible there. Like, just a few too many strikeouts. But he's number 122. Jorge Mercedes, who got a cup of coffee last year in the majors, he's number 155. They're trying to make him a starter. I'm not going to go for that with that control and that stamina. Makes no sense. And Luke Adams, who we traded for in the Milwaukee trade, this was for Tanner Scott. We also got Tobias Myers, Bradley Blaylock, and Wes Clark. They did re-sign Tanner Scott, by the way. Had a really good season. But yeah, he's number 182 in baseball. Bradley Blaylock, just outside the top 200. Duncan Marston, same story with him. We have John Cruz down here, who has some tools. We'll see if he ever makes it. Valorio, same story, just a little bit young to make any judgment on him. Andres Valor made it up to A-ball last year. Actually, repeated A-ball, I should say. Didn't fare much better. We'll see about him. Matt Ager, a guy I like long-term as a starter. He made it up to high A last year. Didn't pitch horribly, didn't pitch well either. He'll probably start the year in high A again. Tyler Baird, our 5th-round pick last year, did not pitch because of the rookie thing. I did change the schedules and everything, so we're good to go. Juan De La Cruz had an excellent season in A-ball, promoted him to high A to end the season. The FIP looks pretty good. You know, I always look if you're below in FIP, if you're below 100, you know, you're in good shape to be promoted at some point. So he'll repeat high A to start and see where he is, you know, come like June. Junior Marino, a guy with an excellent eye tool, played really well in rookie ball. He'll probably start the year. I'm just going to promote him to A right now. Shane Suzuki, a guy who's just very Stephen Kwan without the contact, basically. So maybe he'll be like a 90 WRC plus guy in the majors. I can see that. But with good speed and good outfield defense, could be a good 4th outfielder. Alton Davis, a 4th-round pick last year, made it up to, or I put him in A-ball. Didn't pitch too well. We'll see what happens with him. Brock Vadenberg started the year in high A, hit really well, or hit well enough, and then it's called him up to double A and hit well there too. Yiddy Cape could be a good utility infielder at some point. Didn't hit too well in double A, but you know, we'll see with him. Jacob Miller, 22 years old, pitching in double A, had a really good season. He could make an appearance potentially in the Major League roster at some point if we need him. Okay, so that's where we are prospect-wise. $33 million to spend this season. Extensions for next year. Looks like we're going to be pushed up against it moving into 2027. But I am going to increase the ticket prices. Looks like we did pretty well. Oh, jeez. Looks like we did pretty well attendance-wise. Our owner was happy with our progress in that regard. I'm going to delete these emails, too. Where the heck are we? I want end-of-season stuff. Playoff roster. We did start scouting amateurs as well. we can go to the guys that we're looking at. But yeah, our owner wants us at $120 team payroll. Season goals, he was happy that we increased attendance, found a top prospect in Luis Herrera, and we're just outside the top 6, so our farm is in good shape. And they were happy that we made the playoffs as well. They didn't think we'd do it, and we did. I didn't think we would either, but again, good season for us. We still need to acquire an MVP. Robert was pretty close, but not quite that pedigree, so just want to look at the end of season trade block, see if there's anything interesting. Check the waiver wire. This guy's interesting. 26 years old, 2 option years. We just have to add him to 40. I'll place a claim. Good pitching depth at the very least. And a guy with options. Okay, so coming into next year, let's clear out all these lineups. So Bailey will be at catcher. Jacob Berry tentatively at first. Arteaga at short. We'll have Sanchez in left. Robert in center. Chisholm in right. Seiya Suzuki will play somewhere. But he had such a bad last game. It's just like left a sour taste in my mouth. He did walk twice at the end. I guess he had an overall really good playoff. I can't be too upset at him. I was just pissed off at that last game. So yeah, Suzuki, we'll teach him left field so we can mix in there. And then we can... So ideally, Casey Schmidt's not locked in at third. He's tentatively starting at third, but we'll see about him. We don't have a second baseman currently with Arise leaving. And then we'll have Suzuki in left, Robert in center, Chisholm in right, and then it'll be Jacob Berry at first. Wes Clark will probably DH. I don't think we need to upgrade that position. And then Arteaga at short, and then Bailey catching. So really our only holes on offense are second and third, and they're pretty big holes. I like Casey Schmidt as a backup infielder. Probably not a starter, though. We definitely need someone to play second base. I don't think there's anyone in our organization that I'd feel comfortable putting there. Jahmai Jones is interesting as a backup guy, but not a starter. We have some other depth guys like Garrett Hampson who could play second, I guess. So yeah, that's where we are. If we look at upcoming free agents, we don't have a lot of money to spend. So like Bo Bichette's probably going to price us out. Tommy Edman probably will price us out as well. But we'll have to go for like a cheaper option at that position. Second base is pretty easy to fill, I think. We can go for a good defensive guy. We can go for, maybe even bring back Arise. Don't know if I'm completely sold on that, but it's possible we can do that if he goes down to a 1-year deal. Give a guy like Caballero. Could be a good pickup. I'm not giving up Jazz for him, but, if they're looking to trade him. Yeah, they're not against trading him, it looks like, but, just out of curiosity, I'm not going to trade Conrad Kaysen, but, yeah, they want a legit guy for him. And there's also the Sandy kind of element here that might look to deal him. He's getting expensive. We have other guys that I think can fill his place. So maybe there's a chance for like a 1-for-1 major leaguer for major leaguer. Try to get a little bit more cheap. I love Jarren Duran, but even as a Yankees fan, I appreciate his greatness this season. Justin Steele, looks like they're looking to deal him. Just got a big extension, though. Chris Morel would be a really interesting guy to throw at third. Kind of exactly what we need in a power hitter. He hit 42 home runs in 114 games last year in AAA. So I like Chris Morel. Michael Busch really can't play third. Stephen Kwan, there you go. it's pretty much an Arise replacement. We don't have anywhere to play him, unfortunately, if we were to deal for him. I like Jake Myers as well, but we don't have anywhere to play him as, keep saying as well. Okay, Cole Rankins does not have a big extension. I do like Cole Reagans, though. If we can potentially make a deal for him, probably not a 1-for-1 with Sandy, but something in that vein. I like Chase Silseth. He's been a guy who's popped up a lot. Had a rough season last year, but I think we can improve him with our good catching and good defense. So, yeah, there's definitely interest out here if we were to look to move Sandy. I don't want to give him up necessarily, but for long-term success, I think it might be the best option. Jeez, why are they freaking... Oh, okay. I thought he got 24 per year contract. That's a very affordable deal for Nestor, though. Jung-Hoo Lee, we can dip our toes in the expensive waters of outfield. Frank Arteaga. Is that the same pronunciation? Yeah, this is one of those random generated guys. Yeah, not a lot for infielders. Luis Garcia, I like as well. So yeah, we could assess this later in the offseason. But guys I'm definitely targeting are Chris Morel. I mean, what would this trade package look like? So they value him pretty highly, although they don't play him, which is definitely interesting. Who were they playing at third? They played Xavier Edwards over at third. God, that's so disappointing. Disappointing for Morel. Man, he kind of fits perfectly as a guy who would bat like 7th for us. So we'll have Jazz, probably Robert 2nd, Sanchez, Suzuki kind of falls off from there. Yeah, he could bat 6th for us. Really like that. Does it make sense for a 1-for-1 with Sandy? Check this out. So, prospects. Okay. Let's just throw some decent prospects at him. See what they like. Yeah, so this is gonna take kind of a lot. So maybe this is a trade that I kind of have to work at. But yeah, we'll come back with any other updates. I guess we could go through awards. Patrick Bailey, I saw, won a Gold Glove. There's AL Gold Gloves. NL, Patrick Bailey on the plate. And Jesus Sanchez out and left. Nice. Didn't deserve it, but love to see a Gold Glove. And Jazz out in right field. So his first year, he was good in right. But probably didn't deserve a Gold Glove. So we have 3 Gold Glovers. Not too surprising in where we landed zone rating-wise. Reliever of the year. We got Andrew Nardi getting 1 first place vote. Really good season from him. Silver Sluggers. Check out the AL. Always love seeing my boy Giancarlo here. Had an awesome season. Aaron Judge was also really good. Royce Lewis. Nice. Love me some Royce Lewis, and he stayed healthy. I noticed there's not as many injuries this year in this game. I might have to increase that just a bit, the tendencies or whatever. And also for Sluggers, none of our guys. I'm sure Robert would have been on there if he played a full season, or at least would have competed for a spot. Caminero wins Best Rookie. Holy crap, what a season. Might win MVP once we get to there. Everson Pereira comes in second. NL, you have Jordan Beck winning for the Rockies. Really good season for him. Unfortunately, tore his PCL. Kevin Alcantara. And then Thomas Sajaci. Shout out to him. Texas Rangers legend. Oh, Colton Gordon won the AAA Cy Young equivalent. Very good, very good. He started like the second to last game of the season for us, or the last game. A bunch of extensions signed, arbitration. Bruce Bochy wins Manager of the Year. Brian Snitker wins for the Braves. I think our boy Skip should have had some consideration there. It's like Vlad got extended for 8 years. Only played 37 games this season. Cy Young, Grayson Rodriguez. Whew, he's a friggin' stud now. Nice. So it was pretty close between him and Drew Rasmussen. No real surprising names. Ricky Tiedemann. I'd like to see him there. Kevin Gossman still kicking at age 34. He's only 34. I thought he was like 38. Holy crap. He's just had a long career. And then NL Cy Young. Spencer Strider sweeps all the first place votes. Yeah, he probably should have won. I'm not going to be too upset at that. Had a crazy season. Jesus Luzardo does finish a pretty convincing second. Great year for him. Led the league in quality start percentage. Through 196 innings. Yuri Perez finishes third in his second full season. Trevor Rogers finishes fourth. A guy who probably should have made a playoff start for us, but we just have a really deep rotation. So he finishes fourth. And no one else, but, we have 3 guys in the top 4. Really excellent. Then MVP. See, Brett Beatty's come up in a lot of trades, too. Another guy we can consider at third base. I'm not giving up Trevor Rogers. Rodney Green, how did he do? He struggled in high A, for sure. Yeah, that's not happening. So Junior Caminero wins Rookie of the Year and sweeps MVP votes. Aaron Judge second, Adley Rutschman third, Royce Lewis fourth, Tristan Casas in fifth place, and the rest of those guys you can see. Giancarlo got a couple of votes too. And Jordan Walker wins NL MVP. Holy crap. What a season. Yeah, I bet St. Louis wishes he was like that in real life. He is not good at the moment. Ronald Acuna finishes second, gets 8 first place, and then Corbin Carroll gets another first place vote. Really excellent season from these guys. Jesus Luzardo gets a couple of votes as well. And Yuri Perez. So, very cool. Those are the awards. We'll come back. Any updates? Okay, so this trade came across my desk from the Diamondbacks. It'll be Anel De Los Santos, who we're going to non-tender anyway, so I don't even consider him a part of this trade. And then Corey Collins, who had an excellent season between AA and AAA last year. But he's a first base only type. Can play a little bit of corner outfield if you want, but I don't really see him making it. And then they want to give us Daniel Saldana, 17-year-old. Not the craziest upside or anything, but could be a third baseman in the future. At least a good dart throw. So I'm going to complete this trade. And why not? I mean, it makes sense for a guy we're going to non-tender and kind of a career minor leaguer. Maybe he hits a couple home runs in the majors or something, but yeah, we'll keep Saldana down in rookie ball. We'll see if he ever turns into anything. So yeah, there's an update. We'll be back. All right, so I just wanted to show how ridiculous this is. So Garrett Crochet was on the trade block. So just out of curiosity, I went and hit up the White Sox, see what they would have wanted. So I couldn't make this work. Nicky Lopez, 1-for-1. Okay, so you may say, okay, maybe they'll take a prospect, Luis Herrera, yes. Luis Cova, no. But apparently, a friggin' AAA shortstop who's not going to sniff my roster. It's just there to make my pitchers in AAA better. He's worth a 1-for-1 with Garrett Crochet, who is a free agent, but that's not the point. Point is that's slightly busted, if not greatly busted. Even coming off a bad year, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm not going to do that trade, obviously. That's not what the series is. But yeah, that's just an interesting side bit. Kodai Senga has been on the trade block this whole offseason. AJ Puck is also on the trade block. And, the White Sox really like Nicky Lopez because, they gave me Luis Robert for him last year. And, yeah, they want to do that trade. So, whatever. I'm not going to play with the White Sox right now. They're very stupid. But Alec Boehm's a guy who stuck out to me. Guy in the trade block, coming off a really good year, or at least a good year with Kansas City last season. So he's definitely on my wish list of sorts. I also went into free agency and saw what was out there for like third baseman types. And a couple names stuck out. Because they didn't stick out that much. Oh, Max Muncy. Hit 25 homers last year. Had a decent season overall. But he was really bad at third base defensively, and it's not really something I want. So I think we'll pass on him. Did Chris Taylor wind up signing anywhere? No, he didn't. So yeah, he stuck out to me, and then I was looking at some other trades. I forgot where I was with this, though. Was it a second baseman? Maybe I was looking at second baseman in free agency. Yeah, Christian Arroyo, a guy I like. Kind of Luis Ariz light. Played an indie ball, crushed it last year, obviously. He's a major league player for sure. I don't know why no one signed him. I guess it's kind of on me, too, because I didn't see he was out there. Brendan Donovan, a versatile, infield type. Could be, maybe Brendan Donovan, Christian Arroyo kind of platoon. Arroyo does crush lefties. Donovan, better against righties. Not crazy better, but... Also, Ryu Hirano hits free agency after this trade. They better hope Noel Meyer is an excellent player. This is going to look like an absolute fleece. AJ Puck also wound up making 9 starts for them. Was really good. Not too surprising. He's always a good pitcher. It just didn't really need him. So I like the Brendan Donovan Arroyo thing. They're kind of the same player in a way. Donovan might have a better eye and better overall offensive game, but he's a leader. Arroyo's a leader, a captain. I mean, makes a lot of sense. For infield right now, we have Jacob Amaya, who could play some second, but he's much more of a fourth infielder or fifth infielder. And Casey Schmidt, who I like but don't like that much. So those 4 guys can kind of rotate in those 2 spots. I did go back to the Chris Morel trade, and they kind of moved the goalposts on us a little bit. Morel's been moved to second. Nico Horner hit free agency. So yeah, they're not really too interested anymore. And I don't even know if I'd trade Sandy for him 1-for-1. Oh yeah, that's what it was. They have too much budget space, so yeah, they would accept that. They just don't have any money. So I'm going to wait until later in the offseason when teams don't have $5 million contract offers out and use up all their budget. Eric Parker's out here. They're looking to trade for Andrew Nardi. A guy I like, or a guy I really, really like. Probably our best reliever right now. It's an enticing prospect package here. I wonder what his value around the league is. I don't really want to just go shopping guys around because I know that pisses them off, but look for a prospect package for Andrew Nardi. Nothing as good as that. Oh, what the heck? How is he number 97 in baseball? Fastball, slider, changeup, not the best pitch mix in the world. 24 years old. Split time between the majors. Actually, played mostly in the majors last year, but split time between the bullpen and rotation. How'd they get their hands on him? Oh, they got him in the expansion draft. 15th round. Good for them. Yeah, I'm not going to take him from them. That feels cruel. Ronnie Mauricio. This could be a good buy low guy. I think he's really fallen out of favor with New York. I like him still. Another Nicky Lopez lover team. I don't understand the Nicky Lopez thing. I feel kind of bad even offering him in a trade because he has so much value. Did he hit really well in AAA or something? No, he was awful. He was terrible. But this is a trade we could definitely do. Marino is the kind of guy I've kept because he has some tools and could be valuable in a trade. I don't know if Ronnie Mauricio is necessarily worth that. What was our scout think? He's probably a league average player, but he's versatile. Can play some third for sure. Yeah, that's not worth it. I'm going to go back to the Cubs and this Chris Morel thing. So they liked, oh my God, who is the guy? He's down at a 40 potential, I believe. Marino. Okay, so I don't like Marino that much. What if I threw in Henry Allen, former 4th round pick? Yeah, I'm not going to trade Blaylock, I don't think, in this trade, but yeah, okay. They want a lot more for him now, unfortunately. Another team I wanted to check in on was the Rockies and Nolan Jones, who we had discussions about last season. Looks like things have definitely cooled down in them wanting to trade him. Yeah, no, they're not dealing him anymore. I should have jumped on that while I could, but he didn't wind up turning into a great season or anything. Would love Zach Veen. Wow, Florial has turned into a hell of a player. I don't think we're touching any of those guys. Okay, I'm going to look for some more trades. See if we can fill in those holes, and we'll be back. Okay, so this is kind of a wild trade. A lot of moving parts, and a lot of big moving parts. So it's November 22nd, almost at the winter meetings, and, I was kind of just looking around. What can we do with a lot of these, mostly Sandy. I love Sandy. He's one of my favorite pitchers to watch in real life, but coming off a disappointing year, he wasn't necessarily bad, but had a really bad playoff start. And, he's making 17 this year, 21 team option next year. We'd probably be forced to pick that up because I don't know how we'd replace him. So, you could either think of it as a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal at probably over market value for what he'll bring. Although I don't think that's necessarily true. But, it's a 2-year deal for Sandy. Making a good amount of money. We're going to have some salary issues moving forward with guys hitting free agency after the year. We kind of have to play around that. So, Seiya Suzuki also involved in this deal. I didn't really want to involve him, but with the return that we're getting, it kind of makes sense to, just due to what we're going to have hitting-wise after this. Seiya was okay for us. Had a really good playoff series against Cincinnati, minus that last game, where he struck out in 3 really key situations. It wasn't totally his fault. He probably, helped us win our only game against Cincy, and then helped us against the Dodgers as well. So, it sucks to give him up, but you'll see what we're getting in return. We're also giving up Junior Marino, who I've talked about being trade bait. Not a huge loss, I'd say. So in return, we're going to the Red Sox. Cedane Rafaela. Sedane? I'll look up the pronunciation after this game, but Rafaela, one of the most interesting players in baseball. He's 5'8", 155. Plays all over the field, though. Has excellent outfield defense, really good infield defense as well. Could play short if we needed him to. And coming off a pretty good year last year for Boston. Split time between the majors and minors. I think he has a lot of upside offensively. I think he could be a really solid player. And tentatively, we'll slot in at second base, I think, next year. Maybe third. We'll kind of see where we are. The arm's not really great for third. Definitely more of a second baseman. But this is also like a contingency plan if we wind up losing Robert or, after Jazz leaves, we throw him out in right. So we have some options, basically, moving forward after this season with him. He's only has 1 year of service time. He's not even going to be arbitration eligible after this year, so he's on the minimum. Then we're also picking up Jarren Duran, who is kind of the reason that I'm including Suzuki in this deal. Excellent speed, really good outfield defender, and a pretty good hitter, too, coming off back-to-back 3-win seasons for the Red Sox. About league average with the bat, depending on what metric you look at. Overall average is to be about above, just slightly above league average, but excellent speed. We're going to have him running a ton. That's one thing I want to improve on this team is how much we run. I don't know what Skip has for his tendencies, but we don't seem to steal many bases. But he could play a really good left field, can play in right field. Doesn't really have the arm for it. I don't know if that would push Sanchez to right. It probably would, although he just won a Gold Glove in left, so I don't know. Duran will be in left or right. He'll be in one of the corners flanking Robert. But yeah, this is kind of a franchise-altering trade. It's not exactly a win-now trade, I'd say. We're giving up 2 key pieces and a future piece. Potentially. I'm not entirely sold on Marino. I think he'll be a good player if he develops, but anyway. I don't love giving up Suzuki in this deal. Is there anyone else they like? Honestly, I'd rather go with like a Wes Clark type. Yeah, that didn't really move the needle too much. Maldonado just has a ton of control, so that's why I don't want to deal him. And he's been a good reliever for us. If he was had 2 years left to control, I'd move him, but he has 4, so it doesn't make a ton of sense. So I think Suzuki is the guy to include, and if we kept Suzuki, we'd have way too many outfielders and just be a complete mess. So I think it was 35% that I had. Oh wait, this. Okay, so they do 25. So yeah, we'd be on the hook for 4.5 for him this year. And also getting rid of Sandy's contract, who, again, I don't want to deal Sandy, but it just kind of has to happen. And we're getting Rafaela and Duran back from the Red Sox, so gonna pull the trigger. Fans do not love it. Don't blame them. But long term, I think that's probably the best move. We have guys who could replace Alcantara. I already set my rotation, so Bradley Blaylock and Dax Fulton are going to fight for that fifth starter spot. We also got Pearson Ole off waivers this offseason. We have Sixto Sanchez. Maybe we give him a shot starting. I don't really love that, but he's an option. Tobias Myers, another guy who I could see as a starter. So we'll have to figure out that fifth starter spot with those guys. But overall, I think that improves our offense significantly. So we're able to put Rafaela at second. Put Duran out in left. Sanchez can play DH. Chisholm, Robert, Duran. Pretty good outfield, I'd say. Then Rafael at second gives us a lot of flexibility defensively. Kind of like, I don't know, a Ben Zobrist without the eye. Although he's excellent at every position. So it's not like Ben Zobrist where he was fine at every position. Okay, so we could also put Rafael at third. So we have options, is what I'm saying. So where does that leave us? We could definitely use a third baseman. I'd prefer a righty at this point, because a lot of our good hitters are lefties, but I guess I don't know. I guess we'll take whatever we can get at this point. So going to the standings and kind of seeing what teams. So the Orioles missed the playoffs. Let me also realign this. Okay. I'm going to go realign the divisions because having 6 teams in the AL East is kind of cheesy. I'll be back. Okay, so realign the divisions. It'd be 4 teams, 4 divisions per league. I tried to keep some of the rivals together just to make things interesting. A lot of divisions did say the same. We just added the North Division. South Division becomes whatever. It's a North and South, basically split the Central. In the NL, it got a little funky in the Central, but wound up moving Milwaukee to the South just because they're not necessarily the rivals that these 4 teams are. And then I wanted to keep all the West rivals, LA, San Diego, San Fran together. And the Diamondbacks are with them too, so they're not alone. That division is insane, though, I will say. Our division's good too, so definitely the North and the South tend to be like the weaker divisions, just because those are smaller markets. But that's not right. Oh yeah, we're in the South. Okay, we're in the South division. Sorry, I moved out of the East. So yeah, our division is pretty weak. It just kind of how it worked out. I guess I can move a bigger market team here. Probably be St. Louis. That sucks because then they lose their Chicago rivalry and their Pittsburgh rivalry and stuff like that. But just make our division a little tougher. I don't even know if St. Louis is any good, but they have Jordan Walker, so I'm sure they're decent. Okay, they're not that good. Never mind. Milwaukee was actually much better. But anyway, there's the division realignments. We have the Lobos, the expansion team, who did pretty well last year for an expansion squad. But yeah, I wanted to look at... Okay, that's where I was going. Kind of look at what teams sucked last year. And what they, if they were looking to deal someone. So, Marco Luciano is a guy I really like. Also have old friend Jake Berger on the squad. They're not going to want to deal him. Okay. Pittsburgh, maybe they got like a Brian Hayes they want to deal. I don't know if he really improves us a ton. Probably want a lot in return as well. Oh yeah, the Mets and Brett Beatty. Yeah, okay. Also, they made a big deal. They finally got rid of Kodai Senga. Got Hagen Smith in return, a guy I was looking at in the first round. I didn't want to draft him because I drafted him before. Excuse me. But yeah, they wound up flipping Kodai Senga and pretty much all of his contract to to Minnesota for Hagen Smith. So just out of curiosity. Okay, I think this is it's a good starting point at least. I don't really know who our highly valued prospects are, though, anymore. Yeah, they're going to want a lot for Brett Beatty, so we'll keep searching around. I do have a couple offers out there. Jeremy Pena only wants a 1-year deal, $2 million. Little bit of a rough season offensively the last 2 years, but a really good defender. He'd probably play third for me. Don't love it, but or he'd be a utility, like a super utility type. Brendan Donovan also gave him an offer. Another guy who could play a lot of different positions. And then I forgot I did this. I stepped away to eat for a minute. But I gave Devin Williams an offer. So it's a 2-year, $40 million team option for the second year with a $2 million buyout, I believe. The fact that I remember that probably tells you that that's true. Coming off a really tough season. I do want to request a scouting report before we sign him, but we have money to spend for this year. I definitely do now. So we may as well use it. That's another thing I wanted to do is increase our player development budget. No way, yeah. And then we could keep the draft budget there. Maybe I'll just lower it to 0. So our true amount of money is $26 million even after that. So I really want to, work up this farm and get some guys to develop. So we're just going to dump a ton of money into development this season. That leaves us with 5.7 for amateurs. And then that would leave us with $11 million for the draft. So that's perfect, honestly. And that's with signing Devin Williams. So do we need Devin Williams? Probably not. I think our bullpen's good enough. But it gives us kind of a true weapon out there. And now that we kind of need a starter, it's not a horrible idea to look. Dylan Cease is a cheap guy out there. He doesn't want a crazy contract. Interesting. I mean, if we could replace Sandy, get those guys, and then sign Dylan Cease to a 1-year deal through a tough season, no doubt, but I don't think that's crazy. Okay. So let's put the Devin Williams thing on hold for now. He's gonna be pissed, but whatever. That'd be crazy if we could pull this off. And Cease isn't the sure thing. I mean, he walked a ton of guys last year, but yeah, I think with Patrick Bailey behind the plate, we can make that work. We still need like one more slugger in this lineup though. Like this isn't really satisfying me. And Jeremy Payne is certainly not going to be that. I'm going to go look around for more trades. We'll come back. Okay, so this is always a trade types of trades I like to find. So you find a desperate team that's trying to give up some money. Robbie Reyes had a 1-year deal, $25 million left on this massive contract that the Mariners gave him way back in the day. Wasn't good last year for them, but he still has some good ratings. I don't know. He's not completely done. He's not completely nothing in this trade. But they're going to throw in Hayden Birdsong, who is a guy I looked at some point last year. His name came, I remember his name and seeing him come across as like a guy that they would trade. And I like him. My scout is a little bit more of a fan than the OSA, but, he could be a quality, like, back of the rotation guy, maybe a long man. The stamina is not great, but I think he could be a guy who gives you 5 innings or comes out of the bullpen, gives you a couple innings of good quality baseball. That's what we're looking for here. Going to have plenty of team control. 24 years old. And they're also throwing in Kumar Rocker, who probably more of just a name in this save, but, as a starter, he has 50, 55 stuff. I think if he goes to the bullpen, that takes up to like 60, 65 maybe with that kind of stuff. The control's an issue. I don't think he'll ever be a starter, but I think it's a good dart throw to have there. So we're giving up Jesus Abreu, who's nothing, and then Kristen Charles, who has pitched in our organization, but he's just a reliever. Not going to hold back this trade. So we're taking on $9 million of Robbie Ray. And Robbie Ray's not a nothing pitcher either. He's fine. And we're getting Hayden Birdsong basically for free by doing that. We put $40 million into our development. I don't think we need to put 40. If we go back to 35, we're still at a good point financially where we can afford free agents and draft and stuff. So I'm going to go through with this trade. Just deepens our potential depth that we have. We'll add both of these guys. And Robbie Ray, he'll have maybe first crack at this rotation spot. Although we have a shit ton of lefties now. But, I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's a bad player. So, yeah, there is another trade. And we will crank back our development just a little bit. I think 35 is still plenty to get guys along. So, yeah, it's $16 million left over. And that's with Dylan Cease. Contract still pending. That's $16 million over 1 year. If I can get him at that price, I don't even care. We'll make it work. I don't even know if I want Jeremy Pena at this point. I feel like we can... I like him because he has a good personality. He's humble. But where would he go on this team? I feel like we just have a lot of depth, not a lot of stars. We have like 2 stars. I think he'd be a good fit. So we'll keep moving forward with that. We'll see if C signs. If he does, that's this rotation. Just I think we did a really good job. Flipping Alcantara and then using that money for Cease and to get more depth pitching. I am curious if he'll actually sign that contract, because there was another offer out there for 2 years straight up. I gave him the team option with a little bit more money. I think it was 13 over 2 years. And I did 32 over 2 with the team option. So basically a 1 year 18 or a 2 year 32 instead of 2 for 26 straight up. So Luis Arraez, wide up signing. We got compensation. Supplemental first round pick. Nice. So he goes to the White Sox. It's a good fit. Probably won't win anything there, but a good affordable contract. He didn't get overpaid or anything. That's a good deal. So hopefully he doesn't play second base for them. So we have the Rule of 5 draft. May as well jump into that while we wait. Jeremy Pena signs. We also get Brendan Donovan on the minor league deal. So, Jeremy Pena, welcome to the team. Tentatively will be our third baseman. I hope that's not the case come opening day, but we will see. Yeah, this lineup's not bad. We're certainly really good defensively at the very least. And we have Duran will probably play some left still. I don't know what his splits look like. Yeah, he's good against both. That's fine. We'll have Will Clark there. Cool. Wes Clark. So let's jump into the Rule 5. I don't think we're going to do anything. I should make sure everyone's protected, though. They added this in a couple years ago, and what an incredible addition. Instead of having to click through. So, Luke Adams, definitely a guy I want to protect. He's a borderline, or he's a top 200 guy now. Place him. I feel like Tommy Gaines is going to get picked. I'm not going to protect him. He was really good in Double-A, but he's a high strikeout guy. I feel like Brendan Donovan might get picked too, but I just signed him. If someone picks him, whatever. Shane Suzaki might be a guy someone likes. We're out of 40-man room. I already know who the cut's going to be if I can find him. Yeah, Joe Mack. I still like him. Let's just see if anyone's willing to flip a non-Rule 5 guy for him. Alright, I'll take my chance he doesn't get picked up. None of that's worth it. We will see if anyone claims him. We could also maybe part Dane Myers. I still like him, though. So, I wanted to protect Shane Suzaki. Wish there was no one else I really want to. Yidi Kape is... He actually might be the guy I protected instead. Yeah. I think I value him a little bit higher. I still like Suzaki. I don't think anyone's going to take Dane Myers from us. Okay. We're going to do that. Jump into the Rule 5 draft. Just one more look through. I bet Nicky Lopez is going to get claimed, actually. Should still see if he has some value. I'm not going to fleece any team, but... Man, he's still... It's crazy. See if that Garrett Crochet thing is still out there. Yeah, okay. They've cooled on the Nicky Lopez love. Thank goodness. Yeah, okay. We'll let Nicky Lopez hit the Rule 5. Someone got picked. Nicky Lopez. There you go. Where'd he go? Oh my god, he went the 5th pick. The Astros picked him up, so they got back at us taking Jeremy Pena. It's funny. Alright, I don't know. We have no room on our 40. Oh, Ryan Walker. He's the guy I was trying to get him out of San Fran in that Robbie Ray trade. I'd like to see if they're interested in trading him. Yeah, they don't want to trade him, but they're willing to lose him in the Rule 5. So I'll pass for now. Complete draft, and we lost Ryan Weathers as well. I kind of forgot he was in our system. He pitched well down the stretch. I'm happy he gets another chance. He probably wouldn't crack my roster at this point. Yeah, we DFA'd him like midway through the year. I kind of forgot about it. Not trading Andrew Nardi. Okay, we'll come back. Let's check in the lab. So I purposely went with like medium difficulty ones this time, not any hard ones. Patrick Bailey was hard, but he's on track. Ortega also on track to improve his plate discipline. Yuri Perez really struggling with control. Dax Fulton on track to improve his control. Jacob Berry frustrated plate discipline. So we'll be back in 8 to 9 weeks and check how they did. But if there's any other updates, we'll be back. Okay, so the slew of trades are going to continue here. So this one came in an email from Diamondbacks. Trey Sweeney for Jacob Amaya and Henry Allen. Just to refresh, Henry Allen was an 8th round pick back in 2024. Huge power upside and good work ethic. Not really a defensive home, though. So I'm willing to part with him on this trade. I still think he could be a really good player, but he's years away at this point. If he is. And then Jacob Amaya, who I like. I like his personality. And he played well for us down the stretch. But I think he's replaceable, and we have Jeremy Pena on the roster, so I don't even know if he makes the team. Jeremy Pena is like durable and maybe an Iron Man at this point, so I would like to see if they would. Okay. But in return, we're getting Trey Sweeney, who may not look like an upgrade, but he was a Rule 5 pick last year for Arizona from Cincinnati. The numbers aren't too impressive. He was a below league average hitter, but I really like his strikeout walk stuff. The BABIP might be a little bit lower than it could be. And he's overall like a maybe slightly above average hitter. He's only 25, tons of control, 5 years left. Not a great leader, but good speed, pretty good defense. He could play some third, play some second, could fake it at short. So we're going to go through with this. Okay. It's not letting me accept it anymore. Okay. Complete trade. There we go. Complete trade. And, okay, we need to open up. Oh, we're actually good on the 40-man because we dealt Jacob Amaya. So Trey Sweeney will come on. And we just have a ton of hitters. Hopefully one of these guys figures it out. That gives Casey Schmidt a little competition if he doesn't work out. Payne can mix in. And we'll see how all of this plays out as we head into the season, but I think this lineup looks pretty damn good now, I will say. So we'll come back if there's anything else going on. So we have our newest addition. Dylan Cease did wind up signing $16 million 1 year. He'll slot in as our 3-starter going into the year, and yeah, this rotation's disgusting. And this team is looking pretty damn good coming into the year, I'd say. So yeah, that was the only update to give. We'll come back if there's anything else. All right, so my plan was to go after this guy or get a bunch of smaller guys. So I offered Luis Rosado. Wasn't really sure if he'd accept. He is just insane. I mean, the personality, the bat, the glove. Really, his only flaw is his running, but who cares? And he wound up signing $5.7 million. So I just went through and cleaned out my international. I like to do that once a year. And we don't have a ton, but we do have now Luis Herrera and Rosado. That was his name, right? Rosado. To headline our future middle infield, hopefully. Or, maybe one slides to third, whatever. But our future infield. So, yeah, he's far along enough where I'm comfortable throwing him in the Dominican League. I'm not going to rush him along to A-ball like I did with Herrera. That was kind of a mistake, but he's just kind of an amped-up version of Herrera. Although Herrera is probably a better hitter, probably more of a third baseman long-term, but, Rosado could be an amazing shortstop. And great personality, too, so very excited we got him. Yeah, that's it. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so a really disappointing, I guess, what do you call this, lab session for the offseason. Ortega did not improve his plate discipline. Luzardo didn't improve control, whatever it was, or pitch movement. Bailey didn't get any more home run power. Jacob Berry didn't improve discipline. Yuri Perez didn't improve his control. And Dax Fulton was successful, however, says he's already reached his potential, had no room for further improvement. So we had 0 upgrades this round. I went for more easy ones, but yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. What is this? Okay. But yeah, we're almost at spring training, so we'll come back opening day with kind of how things have worked out. Anthony Garcia is just so annoying. I'm done negotiating with him. So we had 1 upgrade. Luke Adams improved his eye. He's looking like a legit player here. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Luke Adams. He's on the 40-man, so he'll be in the mix. All right, spring training started. We'll come back at the end of spring for opening day. All right, we are back. It's opening day, and we made it through spring, not unscathed this time. Sixto Sanchez went down with an elbow strain. He's out for 5 weeks. Yuri Perez also went down with a dead arm. It was a week. I think it was a 2-week injury. He'll be back in just a week or so. Probably won't need any rehab or anything. He went through a full spring, so I think he's good to go once he gets back. So we'll just have to figure out one start without him. Then Tobias Myers, unfortunately, went down with a torn elbow ligament. He missed the whole year. Had a pretty nice spring, too. He was in the running for that fifth starter spot. He could have gotten it. Unfortunate end to the season for him. Eric Fetty, a minor league free agent signing, went down with a dead arm as well. A lesser injury, I guess, in the overall scheme of things. We do have the prospect rankings. Luis Herrera is still at number 1. Luis Rosado comes in at number 4 in baseball. Luis Cova, wow, we have a lot of Luises. Luis Cova comes in at number 79. He rounds out our top 100 guys. Hayden Birdsong, the guy we got in that Robbie Ray trade, had a pretty nice spring overall. This last start wasn't great. These last few starts weren't great, but he's number 119 in baseball. Luke Adams had a really nice spring. He is 139. He moves up like 40 spots or so. Again, had a good spring. He'll be in AAA to start the season. Devin Taylor, our 4th overall pick last year, did play in spring. He's number 161. And Jorge Mercedes made the opening day roster at number 174. See the rest of the top, probably 20 prospects right there. So Robbie Ray does get a rotation spot. I don't see him lasting long. His ratings went down pretty significantly in our last update. The stuff goes from 70 to 60. That's as a reliever. I don't know what he was as a starter. He lost 2 miles an hour in velocity. He could be done after one start. But it's Luzardo, Cease, Garrett, Rogers. Really doesn't look as great without Yuri Perez in there, but that's our starting 5. I do need to set this up a little bit nicer. I think we'll probably just do all the middle relief thing, let our manager figure this out. But we have Mayer, Maldonado, Nardi, Simpson, who had a good spring. No, he didn't. I don't know why he's on this team. He might get replaced here, but I do like Simpson. We have Boyle. Oh my God, Bender, Maldonado, Mayer, Mercedes, Merriweather, and Nardi. That will round out. I think I kept Simpson on here because he's another lefty. But yeah, he has options, so we can move him up and down. But the lineup is as so. Chisholm right, Robert in center, Jesus Sanchez DHing, Jacob Berry at first, Patrick Bailey catching, Trey Sweeney at third, Rafaela at second, Duran in left, and Ortega at short. Things do change kind of significantly against lefties. We're going to have Rafaela move from second to left, Jeremy Pena slides over, and Sanchez comes out of the lineup as he's done in previous years. Then we're going to put Jerry Duran at first. We just have so many good defensive outfielders. That Duran, he has some infield ability, so we're going to put him at first. He doesn't have any training here, but I think he'll be fine. I think Casey Schmidt also comes in against lefties. He's mixing in a little bit against righties to start. We'll see how this all plays out. And then Barry moves to DH. So that's... and then Bretton Doyle also made the team. Alfonso's our backup catcher. So that's pretty much covers the entire 26-man roster to start the year. We'll have Luzardo on the bump in Game 1 against Yamamoto. It'll be Glasnow and Chrisman. They having a tough time filling out their rotation? Holy crap. No, they're not. They do have Shohei in here. And Doval. As a starter, apparently. They got him last season. But Chrisman starting Game 3, allegedly. They picked up Garrett Mitchell. They got Nikhil Horner. And no one else really new to the team since the last time we saw them. Clayton Kershaw's coming out of the pen for them. So yeah, let's jump into it. Game 1, Jesus Luzardo on the mound. Looking to pick up our first win, and we lose 6-2 to start the season. Robert, a couple hits, RBI. Luzardo, not a great start to his season. Boyle pitched 3 innings in relief. And Mercedes also pitched. So game 2, Dylan Cease will make his Marlins debut against Tyler Glasnow. Pretty similar pitchers. And we lose 9-2. 7 runs in the 4th for them. Nothing going offensively. Nico Horner drives in 5 runs. Cease did not fare well in his first start. So looking to avoid the sweep here. Braxton Garrett against Camilo Doval. Actually, I want Rogers starting this game. And looking to avoid the sweep to start the year. And we lose 4-3, get swept. 2 runs in the bottom of the 10th on a Shohei Ohtani homer. Offense, nothing to go. Just gets nothing going in that first series. Trevor Rogers a good start, though, but Nardi gave a couple runs, only 1 earned in the 10th. So we'll start the year 0-3 in last place, but plenty of season left to turn this thing around. But that'll be the episode. Thank you very much for watching. A really busy one here, but we'll be back next time. Hopefully in May at some point, and check it. See you then. Bye.